I've decided to become a pro fighting game player.
Have you? Has
I have.
anything? Huh. Interesting. What? Pray tell. Oh, is it? Is it just because you've discovered your nascent love of the genre? That's
No.
oh. Is it the competitive spirit and camaraderie that comes with the journey of the fighter?
No.
Is it a
$1 million?
life-changing amount of money?
$1 million?
Is it a life-changing amount of money promised to first place of Street Fighter 6 Capcom Cup?
Yeah, it is. $1
Yeah.
million.
Well, do you think you can beat Mena RD? You think you can beat IDOM?
I saw a tweet earlier today that made me laugh really hard, which was, "Hey guys, everyone's getting excited for the $1 million, but it's going to be some queer 18-year-old who has unlimited time or Tokido
Yes and
that wins that
yes.
money."
Yes and yes. Absolutely. That is, you make no mistake. You are debuffed if you're not already. Yes,
Have
if
I
you're.
already won a championship? No? F me then.
Are you Tokido? No, you're not. Okay.
Uh,
I hope you like fursuits. You should start wearing one now. It's your best shot.
I'm sure I can find one in the house, but I don't want to wear it.
If you can get yourself a fursuit and then modify it so that you can play on stick, you will be good. Yeah, no, this is so here's the thing about that. A lot of speculation and such, but here's what's notable, right? One, if you look at the prize pool for $1 million for first place, it's not the thing where games have announced big numbers and said that's the total amount to be split by top 8, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll see sometimes they'll be like, here's like, 500K or something crazy, and then or less than that, usually, much less, and then it'll be split across the entire top 8. This is 1 million to the winner and 1.2 million to be split first, second through 7th place. That
means 7th place is walking home with a new car.
Walking home with what would be the wins of a major in any other circumstances,
Yeah,
right?
it's like, should I grind to get number 1 at Grand Blue, or should I hope to just get 7 through 5 at Street Fighter 6?
So, why all this noise about millions now? Well, for one thing, again, a life-changing amount of money, probably, post-tax, you'll see what those numbers turn into, but still, that is fucking exciting for people to just be like, you're buying the interest of the highest skilled players when you put that kind of, like, money out, right? Other genres do this, and of course, anything League or Dota related or FPSs, like, you will buy the interest of teams that, like, will play for the payout regardless of how they feel about the game.
I think the best part about this is the joke about the fursuit, right? So Paige and I saw that last night. I was scrolling through Twitter on the TV, right? And I went $1 million, and she went $1 million, and I went, wow, that's enough that people who don't give a shit about Street Fighter are gonna jump in, like Sonic Fox. And then she pulled out her phone and went, 3 minutes ago, Sonic Fox, $1 million.
Exactly, exactly, right. Like, just that's the goal, right? But the other thing is, if you're playing proper Capcom chess right here, it's real straightforward. See, who's about to enter the market? Project L is. Riot is about to drop their fighting game. They're about to drop all the characters that people know and love and recognize and all that. All that is going to be disruptive as and like the current mantle is held by Strive. Strive is carrying the FGC right now. And we just said goodbye to Street Fighter V last night, right? So it's gonna be up for grabs, and 6 is looking like a contender, but you never know how fucking sick Project L might be. It might be like pretty fucking good, but then Riot will come in and just put Riot money on top of that and go, well, we're going to buy your interest, right, with the prize pools, because Riot prize pools usually, they're used to those kinds of numbers. If they go that way, Capcom doesn't want their thunder getting stolen, so why not head it off at the pass and immediately say, no, our new game is going to be hype and all, but we're already going to put out numbers that are going to match whatever Riot is probably going to do, you know? On top of that, of course, 6 is big. 6 is going to be, it's going to be a big impact, but they need to like step it to this level before Riot gets a chance to.
So I did some quick digging. League of Legends Worlds 2002, the 12th annual World Champ, ran from September to November. Prize pool started at 2.23 million. However, it was topped up from a percentage of in-game sales. So, like, Riot runs multi-million-dollar tournaments for League.
Yep.
And they have a really, really good... I think Dota has a very similar, like, idea for cash-in, where they go, hey, motherfuckers, you want to buy the fancy championship bullshit? You know, like Capcom would have had the stages. Like
they did.
Stages.
Yep, they sold the stages and outfits.
Percentage of this goes straight into the pool. Mm-hmm. And that makes the pool
bigger and bigger and bigger.
Big.
Yeah. In this case, though, I mean, I imagine Project L is going to come out and still have to prove itself. So they might not give it like that starting amount, certainly, but it's again, it's buying the interest, you know.
Project L has a guaranteed foot in the door of like the game's free and you can win things by playing.
Right.
Mom, if I get really good at Darius anti-airs, I could win a new house.
You can. Yeah, man, that's a fucking crazy, exciting thing. Also, I have to. I just saw a little tweet about it, but I didn't read the full details. But this is an excellent time for Tokido, Momochi, and a number of notable Japanese players to form the Players Association in Japan, which is hopefully a group that will fight back against the garbage Japanese esports Jezu sort of clauses and all that stuff. For those who don't remember last time or didn't hear about it, basically esports was not a thing in Japan for a long time, and it was kind of held back by like government rules about like gambling in competition, yada yada. You can't win prize money unless someone gets to wet their beaks. So a private company out of nowhere, not a government organization, just funneled money together and said, we are going to be the ones who will pay out the players, and we will be the ones who determine what cut we get of every prize that's won. And everyone that wants to win money has to register and be a part of us, as we're the company that pays out players.
It's always been a very interesting situation where you're like, that's weird. All these Japanese players are like non-stop traveling to the US for major tournaments. Like over and over and over and over and over. Like I hear less about like Japanese players in Japanese tournaments than I do American ones.
Well,
I wonder if it's because they can't win any money at home.
I mean, so that is certainly a part of it that has become emergent as the numbers have grown over the years. But also, it's definitely, too, about the fact that, like, Japanese players for a long time just were on another level, and it was, like, free pickings, you know? Mm-hmm. Every time someone flew over. I mean, one of the classic moments is, like, Fudo, who, like, basically comes along, fucking starts dominating, and can easily just say, I don't even play this game. I play Virtua Fighter, you know? Like it just kind of looked like North America was free, easy money.
There's definitely no money in Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, you know. But it's just like, yeah, get on a plane, come get a payout, and you're good, you know? So anyways, Japan has some bullshit laws that make it hard for players to win money over there competitively. And they just kind of announced that there's a player association, because Momochi held out for a long time, I remember too, because of like it's like if you win a tournament but you're not part of this fucking scam group, then technically you can't get paid, and what's going to happen with the money, you know? And he stood on principle for a while there. So I don't know what the outcome is, but I hope that this is perfect in time for the massive announcements like this, because you bet that scam companies like Jezu are going to want to steal as much as they can of a big pot prize like that, you know? Yeah. Also, shout outs to Momochi as well on another level for recently attempting to compete as 11 in Street Fighter V, who I don't know if you remember, but 11 was announced as one of the newer characters that is essentially
everybody.
It's a random select, exactly. So there were like a number of like streams where it's like, oh, get first to 11 with 11 and whatnot, and yeah, I think
counterpick this.
I think he did a 41 win streak with just straight up random select levels. So crazy. Anyways, yeah, $1 million, finger pinky up, to get top placement in 6.
So you know what? So maybe I'm crazy because I don't run tournaments and I don't have a lot of experience with tournaments. But like, so the 2 million or 2.2 million, whatever it happens to be, right? That's going to be divided nearly entirely among what, the top 8, top 10, top 16.
It go top 8, you know.
Okay, I think they should keep $1 million at number 1. I think they should shave off a little bit, just a little bit, from guys 2 through 8. And I think they should expand the bottom small payouts massively.
Okay, yeah. So you're talking like top 32 payouts, for example.
No, I say did you get top 128? Here's $50.
Some events do things like that. I've heard of this before. I don't know that they go as far as 128, but I do know there are events that are that do things like top 16 payout or top 32 payout. It's a payout.
Hey man,
that's not unheard of.
In pools, here's cab fare.
A lot of the time,
airfare. Fuck your airfare. But here's your cab back to your hotel.
I mean, drowning in pools shouldn't earn a payout. I'm going to put my foot down on that. Drowning in pools should not earn a payout. But
in fact, drowning in pools should earn a pay-in.
Oh, you pay extra for losing?
Rob you,
yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah. So, you know, usually when you do top 3 payouts, you do. There's people that break it down like 70, 20, 10. You know, some that's a typical standard. If you're going top 8 payouts, you're probably going to go 50, 20, 13, 7, 3, 2.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you can expect $500,000 to go to second place based on these numbers, and then you just scale it down from there. The idea of like top 32 payouts and shit like that is that's a super cool idea. I'm super down with that. It's way more encouraging. It's just positive overall. Top heavy stacks are like hype for people that are competing in that way, but it's also like more community oriented and friendly if people are just like, okay, you got in the money, you got something, you worked fucking hard, you know.
I feel for the person. There's always a cutoff, right? Let's say 10 or 20 people who are like, one more match, you would have walked away with 10 grand, but instead you walk away with your balls. Right.
Yeah. What I think is they should do the community pool as well, right? Have that running alongside. And that, though, none of that money goes to any of the competitors there. The community pool money goes towards the meme fund for the winner of the Cronenberg Freak Pick Story Mode tournament, which should run alongside the main event. Take your weirdo fucking create a character fighters and make them as busted as possible and jump into a bracket, and you get to win the stupid meme bucks. Get your bison dollars. That's what I want. Yeah, that's a big one.
$1 million. That's
a big one.
I hope they have. So this is gonna be Capcom Cup specifically, right?
Yes. Capcom Cup 10.
So the seeding for Capcom Cup is resultant of other tournaments, right?
Other tournament placement for other tournaments become Capcom CPT qualifiers, and then there's usually 2 or 1 last chance qualifier that occurs the week of the final bracket, where you can get in at the last second. Yes, there's an open bracket. I
hope everybody running a Capcom seeding point qualification eligible tournament, as well as Capcom themselves running the last chance qualifier, are ready for a big motherfucking influx of people.
They have been, because so Capcom Cup stepping in to kind of like be its own major final Street Fighter event. For the longest while, it's always been Evo. So I remember when that happened, I was like, okay, I guess, other games have done this before. Let's see how it goes. The Capcom Cup finals have been week-long events. This, like, it ended yesterday. It's been running all week.
Yeah.
They'll do 2 days of last chance qualifiers and then start the bracket, and it'll be hours, and it is so much Street Fighter, more than I'm gonna follow or keep up with.
What was this, 5 days this time?
It was 5 days of fucking Street Fighter. It was crazy.
Get ready for 6 to 8 next year.
It's a lot. It's more than I'd like, And I say this as I went to a tournament this weekend. Like I went, yeah. These Capcom Cup things they're just, there's more Street Fighter than you could ever want to watch. But it's going to be big. It's going to be big. Yes, this weekend.
I think there might be one issue with this.
Mm-hmm.
There must at some point be some change to the way these tournaments work, because you can't have people given the chance of, listen, you need to fly down to, what is it, Vegas?
I mean,
for Capcom Cup?
It was not LA. I forget.
Okay, let's say you gotta fly down to LA, right? Whatever. Just fly down to major American city. That'll take a day, right? Fight in the tournament for a full calendar week. Fly back. And it's like, I hope you have, like, the assumption can't be, unless you're willing to quit your job, you cannot fight in this tournament.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there needs to be some kind of time or stipend or league or something.
It's like, it is tricky, but there's not much else way to really do it, I guess, unless you just run it faster. Evo is kind of miraculous in that the level of organization that goes in makes it so that no matter how the numbers scale up in terms of participation, you will still be at top 8 on Sunday, right? No matter what. We're going to start on Friday. We're going to end on Sunday. And every time there's been maybe we can start on Thursday. Nope. They keep it to a weekend, and they just run and expand horizontally as needed.
Wait, do we need to go? Do we need to go till tomorrow? Yes.
Now, it definitely has resulted in, like, you might have 8 a.m. pools, right? This is the trade-off when we have, like, thousands of people entering an open bracket. But there is the fact that you get it done in a weekend, no matter what, is fucking sick. I love that.
Very impressive.
So I would want to see something like that maintained. I don't want to see more days added on to the pools, if needed or so. But people who are kind of committing to that life of traveling and or participating, like, you're talking to there's an FGC that is like a local FGC for every city and area, and then there's a backpacking FGC, and they just like, see you next weekend, here or there, right? This weekend, like Lord Knight is like a top player that's, been around and comes up to Montreal usually, was in town for the event this weekend as well. Like, backpacking players are just going to make it out one way or the other. And at that point, they usually have situations set up where it's like, okay, I'm working a job where it might be understandable if time to time I have to go disappear because there's a fucking European Stunfest event that I got to go check out that's going to pay out sick money. So I'm going to that, you know? It's
Gotta do it.
It's a part of the sacrifice of the life.
I'm just my brain just I can just imagine somebody being handed a gigantic novelty check on stage, and I mean it's still the FGC. Who knows what could happen?
You behind the novelty check, it just rips open and the ghost of Marvel rises again. Yeah, I mean, God, just that moment. There was discussion about it as like what are like the most iconic photos of the FGC, and like that one was highly was talked about because it's like even no like mental illness aside, there's something really fucking just real, like real street about it. Yeah, you're nice at Marvel, that ain't bad, but see me first to fucking 5 if you really want to be the champ. You know, there's some guy can just be like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but I just put the money on top of the TV. Sit your ass down, let's play. Literally, who are you? How did you get through security?
There's a romantic appeal.
Yes, the romantic in the classical sense of the word aspect of that. Some rando walks out of the crowd and challenges you, and you know, like, no, I don't know that any other sport anywhere has that. Like, I don't think there's any other game or sporting event where it's like I just walk out of the crowd and I'm like, nah, I'm coming for you though, champ.
The Super Bowl winners are parading around with their rings, and like 10 guys just emerge from the stands, go, you guys aren't so good,
right?
Me and the boys take you.
So you know what that is? That's actually old wrestling, right? Like, yeah, professional wrestling back in the day, the kind that like fucking Abe Lincoln was doing, you know, where it's like, yeah, I'm do a big show match, but before that, anyone in the crowd that wants some, come get it. I'll beat you down for real, and then we'll go back to our spots and do some kayfabe, you know?
This reminds me, somebody mentions pool and darts. I have a story from this weekend. So I text my father, hey Dad, just checking, want to make sure, because Mom's birthday's tomorrow, right? And my dad texts back, YES. No period, nothing, just flat, right? I go, okay, that was maybe is he like upset that like I had to ask? I want to make sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm streaming later in the day, and he texts me again. Hey, sorry for the short message earlier. Was busy winning the pool tournament. And then I call him afterwards and go, you told me they don't let you play. And he goes, no, I just can't win any money anymore. I still go down there. They just give the money to the guy in second place.
They just banned him from winning cash.
Winning the money.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay. That's the level. Interesting.
He says he goes down there every week and does the tournament every week, and he wins about 50% of them. And then the other 50%, it's, 10 other guys.
But
they said you can play here, but you can't win any more money.
That's it. We're done. We're done paying out. Yep. That's hilarious. Because I was just talking about how the hometown heroes in the games that we play, there's always a moment where they win one too many locals and everyone kind of turns on them, right?
Yeah.
And the person
you need to leave. You need to go to a different town.
There's a moment where, it's like, oh, yo, Henry is so sick. Shout outs Chirithi, right? And then at a certain point, it's like, we just show up every Tuesday and put money in his pocket, and that's all we're doing here, right? What the fuck? And then
He
it
doesn't
kind of
have a job. We're just subsidizing his income.
literally, and then it just becomes a like, okay, now we're cheering for second place, right? And then like it becomes, and then like that's where like all the hype goes, and when like the usual player wins, you kind of everyone just kind of goes you know, and it's just
But that inverts the instant the show goes on the road.
Yes. The moment you are representing your location versus America, for example, you scream MTL till your fucking throat is hoarse. You know?
Hey, I think Sonic Fox is fucking great. I think they're fucking cool and hilarious. If I'm gonna, waste my life watching a Mortal Kombat tournament, I'm not gonna root for Sonic Fox. It's like rooting for the sun to come up in the fucking morning. Like, I don't know who the second guy is, but maybe he can win.
At the same time, too, though, like the landscape has changed because a lot of what I'm describing is the way things used to be. Nowadays, there's a lot more online warriors that are just coming out of nowhere on their own, and like the best in the world, like showing up. Okay, so for example, one of the best Guilty Gear Strive players is Test Your Luck, who plays Nago.
Oh,
and
good name.
Yeah, and just happens to be some dude from Montreal, just hanging around, coming from online, and just like you're able to get that momentum going, and then you can just be like, without like, you're not coming from the local scene necessarily. You do your online events, you play enough, and then you get your experience that way. A lot of the best players recently have been like coming from that, and so it kind of creates a more like individualized kind of culture,
Mm-hmm.
So the vibes of like Toronto versus Montreal, for example, from back in the day, those are more or less gone. It's kind of like, are you a fan of this player or that player individually? I
think a really great example that actually made its way to me was a unknown gentleman named Zen coming abroad from China to play his first tournament abroad in the Last Chance qualifier, and sweeping everyone all the way through in winner's bracket. I've never heard of this guy, and no one else has, because he's a new guy.
There's always the unknown god killers that show up, the unknown like secret players that like are always a random threat, and they become the most hype, right? Gamerbee started out as that one fucking random add-on player. What? Where did that come from?
Player in the tournament.
Why is he so good?
Oh shit!
Yeah. Like there's always that little story, man. Of course, we talked about Pakistan, but it's super fucking clean when you get the complete unknown story. Yeah, Ending Walker, fucking Ed players coming out, like it's super hyped, with the not just the unknown player, but like the unknown tech of like an obscure character pick, which is why I always go back. Whenever me and Reggie are laughing about it, we just go back to like Jury from Alaska. It's like, yo, did you know that there's an Alaskan jury that's fucking sick?
I did not know that.
Who beat you in pools? Yeah, Alaskan jury. Really? Damn. What are they doing up there? Grinding out fucking the Tantan engines, apparently. Yeah, no, man. It's always a fucking... It's always a trip when you get the little backstory of someone who
I think
a new name.
There's, by the way, to my wife, if she's watching the podcast, stop watching the podcast for 5 minutes, because I'm going to spoil the movie. Will you ever seen Rocky 2?
Not yet.
Not yet? Oh, well, shit. Never mind. I was going to use an example of that.
But I've heard everything about it mimetically, so I probably already know, but,
So that movie came out in '79, and the crux of the plan to beat Apollo Creed is, hey man, this guy's a better boxer than you, but you're a southpaw, and he's expecting to fight a southpaw, so we're gonna teach you to box right-handed, so that in the middle of the boxing match, you can go back to southpaw
switch it out, yeah,
and beat his ass. And that is 79 boxing analogy for like pick an unconventional character.
Surprise them. There you go.
Pick an unpopular loser character.
Save,
and get really good. Because
save
nobody
that
knows
shit.
the matchup to Hakan or Adon
Save
in Street
that
Fighter
shit for
4 at the
nationals.
time.
Exactly. Exactly. So off of that, I mean, like shit. Just again this weekend, I'm thinking about one of the most popular anime fighters that's still going competitively with the community, of course, is BlazBlue, because it's got rollback now, and like a lot of people that have been playing BlazBlue, like if you've been playing since Calamity Trigger 2008, it's still that game, just with more shit stacked on top of it.
And it hasn't been directly replaced by anything.
Yeah, nor will... I mean, so Guilty Gear Team Red is one side, and then Team Blue is the other.
Yeah.
The director left ArcSys, so I don't know that we're going to see a proper, like, BlazBlue sequel. But what they've done is develop this game over the course of, like, 15 years. And it's... because they just built on it over all these versions, people always have a fallback. Like imagine if today the competitive game still being played was Street Fighter 4, the latest edition, right? You can go back to a decade of memories of matchups and just be like, yeah, I've been playing this forever, I can still enter and play. The problem is, of course, is if you're trying to get into it for the first time, so Reggie's been playing it for a bit, for example, you're going to have to learn 55 fucking matchups, and the intricacies of those are so, like, encyclopedic that they're nigh impenetrable. Like, unless you want to dedicate your entire, like, fucking work week to learning every character, every matchup, every interaction, you're just not getting in at this point, right? Good luck. But some people do. Some people do get to that point.
People are freaks.
But
and can just do it.
Yes. But it's hilarious because when a new character gets announced in a game like that, or like Smash Ultimate, instead of watching the crowd pop off, you watch some of the crowd pop off and some of the crowd go, fuck me, not another matchup.
I have to learn 8,900 new interactions.
What do you mean the stupid Jubei cat is now playable? Fuck this. I don't want to learn another one. Izayoi's bad enough.
Oh, and the character's an uncommon size, so none of the bread and butters will work on it. Whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy when the roster gets like to that route, you know?
So it's interesting because Project L has a de facto built-in advantage on this that has been seen in League of Legends and Dota, which is infinite matchups, like functionally infinite matchups, is okay if you didn't have to pay for it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can spend all the time I want on this. I want because it's free. I'm literally it's the only thing I'm losing is my time. And if you're a young person, boy, you're drowning in time. Fuck, I play video games for a living, and I somehow don't have enough time to go to the fucking post office.
Yeah. And horizontal growth in a free-to-play game is just like, well, more stepping stones for anybody on the outside who's like, ooh, what's that? So that makes sense. It still does become nightmarish if you're, like, living that competitive life, though, you know? If you're trying to stay, like, sharp, you're still gonna have to spend all that time learning everything you can about every piece of information in the game.
Yeah, and then you get to where League is apparently at, where there are so many interactions that you can't learn all of them before they get patched.
Right.
You actually just you just can't. There are too many interactions to learn.
I mean, I'm already talking about how Street Fighter 6 is going to have every matchup, and then there's going to be 3 variations of frame data if you want to start thinking about that. Because when you're in Burnout, you got to add +4, and when you're in Drive Rush, you're going to add another +4. So,
do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take all that frame data, and I'm going to look at it, and my brain is going to turn it into more safe,
yes,
or less safe.
This is how games actually want you to think about it, really. Like, just know that this is a time where it's your turn or my turn. That's it. That's all they really want you to think about. Your turn or my turn. I blocked that, now it's my turn. I blocked that, actually it's still your turn. That's it.
The only frame data I need is I cannot reversal SPD
No.
when I am gray.
No, you cannot.
But when I am blue, I can reversal SPD.
This is the correct way to go for now. Yes. There will be there's just going to be that one moment where it's like, God damn it, what the fuck just happened? I don't understand. And it was like, oh, that was a perfect frame trap that was set up to be you were +8 on that, and you pressed a button and you got hit by something that had a 10 frame startup. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I love it or hate the idea of like, wait, why did I lose? And a man appears from the shadows with a jeweler's monocle and slows down the YouTube video. Well, you see here, you were 4 pixels over and 1 frame behind due to the blue spark, and that's what did you in right there. As they're adjusting their jeweler's monocle.
You're correct. That is true. That is some wild ass shit, and that sucks. But that's why you will never win $1 million.
No, but I want the $1 million.
You will never win $1 million, and that right there is exactly why. That little fucking monocle asshole, the difference between those two is $1 million. And then you take it into set 2 and you go, he's gonna do it again. But this time, I already know what he wants to do because he did that last time. That's how you do
knows that you know that he wants to do that last time.
Exactly. So you go to step 3 in your brain, which is actually do the same fuck up you did the first time.
But it'll work now.
But now it works because he expects the adjustment.
And now he knows that you're expecting to expect what he's expecting, and you move on to tier 5, which is Unga. Just hit buttons. Just hit the buttons.
Unga won't win you $1 million, but it'll get you real close. It'll get you in the money.
Yeah.
Primo Unga will get you in the money.
I want to see the interview with, let's say, Tokido. Hey, Tokido. Hey, how'd you beat him? Oh, I was doing this. I was doing that. Oh, you know, he really liked this move, blah, blah, blah. And then they talk to number 2 and 3. And, hey, guys, what was your plan? And they just look directly into the camera. I'm just pressing buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just pressing buttons out here.
Yeah.
Aha.
Well, dude,
give me 400 grand.
It's competitive Mount Stupid. LOL pressing buttons. LOL pressing buttons. Player in the middle calculating every possible interaction, every possible state. I did this wrong. I should correct this way. Yada yada. You know? Absolutely. The looseness to which you have to honestly, like, when you watch a tournament player that is like on the final stage where the monitor you're standing on is your face and your character and you watch some people sit down, plug their stick or controller in, and then don't even put the headphones on. Yeah, they just listen to the sounds of screaming or the music, or pull out an iPod, a fucking playlist or whatever on Spotify. Like some people are such beasts, and it's such in their blood that they don't need the audio cues of the game. They don't need any of that shit. They just need to stare at it and just feel their way through the whole thing. That is absolutely you're just pressing buttons and you're winning, and there's no real way around that. You know, you can't nerf Unga. That's it.
Can't.
Anyways. Yeah.
It'll be really, really, really interesting to see what happens next year. I wonder if any of the open qualifier will be dealt with online.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, that's going to be a question.
Time.
Yeah, that'll be a question. Menawan with Unga? No, Menawan with Unga Bunga. You see, Unga Bunga can win you money. Unga on its own will not.
This reminds me of my most hated phrase I've ever heard in my life when streaming. I think it was when I was playing Runeterra, which was like, Pat, go face. And I went, what's face? And somebody replied with, face is Unga. And I understood it. And I was like, ugh. Gross. Oh, I hate this.
Stop thinking, just react.
Awful.
I mean, some of the like the matches fucking getting in Yomi Hustle that are like the hardest ones, I have to win by switching on the fucking monkey mode. I'm like, okay, I see. You're defensive. You're smart. You're reading my reads. Time to just
Time to
be
hit
an 8.
some rocks together and shit in my hand.
Time to be an 8. That's how it is. And just put some YOLO plays out there, you know? Anyways.
So remember, I'll never forget, ever, who the fuck would ever do Hado Burst from full screen twice. And he won. He won that match. Because who the fuck does Hado Burst from full screen twice?
Yeah.
Insanity.
Yep.